This conference will now be recorded.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and call the meeting to order. Go ahead and start with approving the agenda from the July 1st meeting.
Nope, agenda for today's meeting.
Agenda for today's meeting, my bad. It's going really good already.
The only addition is that I added a line, we need to reschedule the September meeting because it falls on the holiday again. Yep.
I'll move to approve with the addition of rescheduling September meeting.
I'll second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay, now let's look at the minutes from July 1st to be approved.
My mom waits till I'm not here. Yeah, she's very intelligent. I make a motion to approve the minutes from Monday, July 1st.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Now let's look at accounts payable.
The one in the packet good, or is that another sheet over there?
That's just the sheet that needs to be signed. So that's the same as. Yep, the one in the packet is good.
Is Blades, Lodemeyer Blades? Oh, okay.
The Emerald Ash Borer treatment, I'm assuming those are still the ones down the main park drive that we're treating?
Yes.
Yep.
Yep, they're looking good still. We were just talking about that today on how many people sit out there during lunch hour under those trees.
They're out there right now when I pulled up. They're still out there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Maybe they're napping out there. I don't know. I should walk by and see.
I'll make a motion to approve accounts payable.
I know we should know it's kind of hefty because of the Burbach.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've seen that.
I was gonna mention that. So we have not paid Burbach the whole time up until now. So this is the whatever phases of the contract up until.
One, not because we didn't just pay it, they never invoiced us.
Oh.
They finally realized that. So. So it was a approved expenditure. It just never came up.
Everything under that 44410 is pool related, or is that what that account is? That 444-10?
Bottom of the first page.
Yep, sorry. Yep, so if it starts with a 615, that's pool. If it starts with a 225, that's park.
And so does this, you know how they had asked us that the park budget and the pool budget are in two separate budget items? Is that us or is that the city council? That they wanted the two, that they were requesting, or, you know what I mean? Here, right here, when they were here and they asked us, it was expressed that the park budget and the pool budget.
No, so that was, they were making an argument that we were spending the pool money on the campground. And we
Okay.
said, well, no, those are different dollars. That's- doesn't-
Better suited to build a new pool instead of the campground
So to
stuff.
prove that they're two different monies, is that in the city council budget or is that somewhere in our budget here? So that we can prove that to them.
Yep, they're two completely separate departments, so that's what the 615
Okay.
and the 225 are.
So we can prove that.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
So what is the bathroom design?
That was the design from Dimensions for the bathroom.
For the campground, that's a 225 account, so that's a park
Oh,
account.
for the bathroom down there.
The bathhouse.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yep.
House instead to clarify that.
So 3,500 just to draw the design? That's it, just the design?
It's pretty reasonable. Yep.
That's all, you know, as the design details for everything. What we needed to turn in for inspect for building officials.
Now that I'm looking at this, I think the last Minnesota Energy one, I think I just opened up a check today for $4.58 back from them. So I think that's coming back to us. Because we shut that off probably right around the time the check was written, June 21st. So you'll get a little bit back.
Yep, 615, so that's the pool.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve.
We have a motion and a second to approve accounts payable. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. I don't think we have public comment, so we can skip that. All right, we'll jump right to unfinished business. 2025 preliminary budget approval.
I don't think we got any questions over the month. Kim didn't send me anything, so it has remained unchanged since the first time it was presented, so. Any final questions or comments for us?
No, it's just a lot to digest.
So the budgeted numbers are in bold, and then the actuals are obviously in fine print,
Yeah,
so,
it's proposed versus
right.
budgeted. Yep.
For the taxes, the levy part of it went up about 6.4%. Current taxes.
Here's the bolded is what we budgeted for, and then the
Actual.
regular print is what we actually spent.
For the 24 budget, if I'm seeing this correctly, all the things for like the pool between swimming lessons, vending sales, lessons, all that stuff, like there's a substantial amount that we had intended on receiving for that. So if you add those up, they're over $32,000 we planned on making from the pool being open this year, but that's no longer there.
Yeah, memberships, vending sales,
Right.
lessons, pool
All that
parties,
stuff, yeah.
all that stuff, yep.
Yep.
We also don't have any expenditures. I mean, other than,
And that's what I was gonna ask, is what do we usually spend?
well, we bring in the $91,000 on top of what we make with everything else to run the pool. So we can look back at, where are the pool expenditures anyway? Admin, oh, there's that 98,000? Yeah, 98,550. So 100 grand. Oh, actually. Expenditures 131,700.
Right.
Forgot about the rest of that stuff there.
That's what was planned.
That was budgeted, yep.
Yep.
But without that $30,000 worth of revenue coming in from those items down that I had mentioned before, it's going to be much closer to what we're budgeting for 25, which is under 93,000 probably,
92,548.
which is just the tax and interest earnings.
And that's being moved to swimming pool restricted.
Correct. Stays in the 615 account.
Or it goes to the 616, the restricted. I think we're gonna use that for possibly tearing the building down, if it doesn't pass. What's that?
I think she maybe already did move it because that same amount is in 616.
Yeah, I've seen that it's under transfer in.
Yeah, that's why it's an expenditure.
Okay.
And the same amount is down in restricted. Basically, it's a savings account.
And the restricted fund is still just that it's going straight towards whatever needs are for the pool or
For now.
demolition, reconstruction, whatever.
Yep, depending on what happens with the vote or 2 votes or whatever it takes, then the park board still retains control, so.
So we need to vote on this tonight, right? Yes.
Right, because it needs to go to September.
Yeah, I mean, you could have one more meeting, but that meeting is gonna move.
Right, I
I
guess
have
it all
to-
depends on when you reschedule your September meeting for.
Council agenda for the September 18th, is it? 18th council meeting for approval of the preliminary budget.
I don't see any major changes that I would make. It looks pretty solid. I mean, without digging into it for a couple hours and having a debate with you over it.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean, It
really,
seems pretty solid. to
really
me.
most things increased by 3%. That's kind of how we did the budget across the board. And
Yep,
then we
that
made
makes sense.
adjustments, except for we infused a few more dollars in from the taxes at the 6.4% up there. So just to try and get some more going towards the park.
Yeah, I make a motion that we approve the preliminary budget.
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve the 2025 preliminary budget. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. All right, priority list project update. So,
On the list,
yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know.
might as well.
I've got a congressionally directed spending request in on the Trestle Bridge of 100 and, a million, 1.4 million, I think is what we asked for. We did not make it onto the House one, I don't think. Still waiting to hear on the Senate bill. And they may not give us that much if we do make it on there. But hey, anything, we'll take anything towards the trestle. So once we get that moving, then we'll need to look at the park board or the park road. After we've had all the heavy equipment down in there to replace the trestle.
And the trestle has always been part of the park board?
No, it's not part of the park board. The park road is dependent on
Oh,
us getting the
okay.
trestle done.
Okay.
We still have to discuss the parks and trails concept.
Mhm.
I've kind of left that alone for a few meetings with all the pool stuff and everything else going on, but, so theoretically, eventually, we may look to move all the trail dollars and all of that under the park board and call it Parks and Trails. But for now, it's separate. And it's,
Talk about an emergency exit for the campground going in through the existing kind of like parking lot for the swimming pool.
Mike's got that on the plans.
Is that something that could alleviate the need to use the park road for that equipment? Could that go in through there?
Pretty big equipment and
Going down through where those people live. What's that called? Residential area, thank you.
Emergency exit.
By my house.
Yep.
Right. Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Probably not
it's
this.
just gravel.
Yep.
It's not a 10-ton
It's
gravel
too
road.
tight back there and they'd have to drive on the trail to get down the hill, but good idea. Yeah.
Yeah. So is that escape route supposed to be so that they can pull their trailers out, or is that supposed to be just so that they can drive their cars out and get out?
No, what we
Mostly
use,
for the trailers.
Okay.
I don't know if it floods that they have a second access.
So they can pull their trailers over it?
it'll be gated
Yeah,
gated most
okay.
of the time, right, Mike? It'll be gated up, yeah.
I just thought that could expedite potentially the park road if we wanted to speed that up. But
Also need money for it too.
Can they bring in equipment from the west side? Is that right?
They're probably gonna go both ways.
Oh, they'll need
Yeah,
access.
for both sides.
Yeah, there's abutment on both sides and so. Then depending on what kind of bridge, they're gonna probably maybe crane something in there,
Oh, my Lord.
put it in place. Maybe they need a helicopter to
Trail?
drop it in there.
Did
What's
we
that?
redo the trail on the other side of the trestle? We did not.
For the
I thought
same,
we
well,
were-
the same
yeah,
reason,
to
plus
wait.
dollars as well,
Yeah.
because we use most of the trail dollars for what we did in the park. Campground showers, bathrooms, seasonal campsite. Mike's neck deep in that one. Design is done, it looks like, and
Just waiting for Schumacher. We probably won't get the bathroom done until spring, but we're still planning on doing the campground portion.
okay. Tree replacements, have to remind me. Is that part of the grant?
I kind of assume that's for the ash tree replacement.
Yeah, and as part of the grant, we're not gonna spend nearly that much.
There won't be, no. In fact, I think they still have the school interested in donating. They had $500 they were gonna donate towards trees. And we could probably get volunteers to plant them too, so it's.
Yep, because we can only buy a certain size under the grant. We can't go get big trees. Dugouts, Troy can talk about that one.
Yep, so we were out there a week and a half ago and started digging with Schumacher. They were using their vacuum system, but they ran into a bunch of rocks and things that were plugging up their vacuum system. So they would prefer to use their auger to dig that out for the majority of it and then back flush it with their vacuum system. But their auger won't fit in between the fence and the concrete the way we had it. Plus there was a big, huge youth baseball tournament the weekend that we were about to dig the holes and try and get those inspected. So for safety reasons, we postponed it. And then this last weekend was the year-end softball tournament, so we postponed it again for 2 weekends. So I just spoke with Todd today. He said as soon as we can get the fence pulled back, which is just a couple hours, it's just a few little nuts and bolts that hold the fence to the post. We just got to peel it back for that first 24 feet that's there by each one of them. They'll come in with their auger, they'll dig that out, they'll back flush it and get all the holes all filled out and in their thing. Talked to Fred Rash and some other volunteers have volunteered to help because we're kind of losing a little bit of the momentum with the youth baseball program. The season's now over. Now everybody's back to school shopping and basketball and stuff like that. So Fred and a bunch of volunteers have stepped up and said they'd be willing to help with that as soon as we get that going. So as soon as the poles are removed, the holes are dug, Fred and crew are going to come in and start helping tip some poles and get things all lined up. So I suspect we'll be making some good progress here before the next meeting. We may even have them completely done. We'll see how optimistic I am.
Awesome.
Yep. Probably the same crew that volunteered to do a lot of the work for the bathroom up by the shelter, I'm guessing. He's got a breakfast club that gets together and talks about things they need to do to stay off the honey-do list, so.
Geriatric crew.
Good for us.
Right.
What else is on here? Skate park, that's done, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's done, and
Pool?
I
On
don't
the
think.
pool.
We all know about the pool. I can talk about the pool
We'll know
committee
more
later.
about that next week, right?
We will know, yes, by,
August
I will
14th.
know quite a bit by, what time the polls close, 8? 9:30? 9:30, I'll probably know quite a bit.
Will the results be live posted on the town talk, or where's the
We-
results?
We can't post them officially
No.
until the county does, but they're usually pretty quick. I bet if you refreshed their page.
Yeah, because if we close out quick here, which we should, it's not like the general election, it won't take as long, hopefully. And we've got our star election judge still with us for that one. Bob's wife, our 2-star, oh yeah, the 2 stars. We'll have one for the other one, but it gets kind of hard for one to guide everybody on both sides. But no, usually we get down to the courthouse by, I don't know, 9:30, 10:30.
10:30 at the
And then
latest.
if we're ahead, we can get through there pretty quick. If we're not, then we're gonna wait for quite a while and it might be midnight or 12:30 before, 1 o'clock before it's posted, but we'll maybe know some things. But we can't go out with it because it's the county's job to verify everything, so.
We go back to the skate park.
Yeah.
I had a.
Oh, that's right.
Email from Jerry Chapin. He wanted to know about donating a grain grill that is portable and it's taking up space in his garage. So he wanted to donate the skate park, however, he wanted to make sure that it would not violate any of the city rules and get us in trouble. I asked him if he'd come to the meeting, he couldn't make it. I asked him to send some pictures, because I have no idea what a grain grill is. And the other thing is, I don't know if we want something out there that's not fast. That was just our thought.
I think it's just like that one that's out there right now. That square piece of tubing that's about
Yeah.
6-8 inches up off the ground or whatever that they just slide across.
And that one's fixed.
Grind.
Yeah.
So if it does have a way to anchor it with like some cement anchors or something that we could drill down into the concrete and anchor it, it'd be something to consider if there's enough open space to add it out there.
How big was it, Mike? How long?
I don't think he said, he didn't say.
Yeah, that'd matter too, if it was 6 foot or 8 foot or
Yeah.
whatever, but I like the price.
Right.
Yeah.
Get more data.
Yeah, see what you can find out, Mike, tell them next meeting.
Yeah. All right, is that it for the priority list? All right, we'll move on to the East Park tree removal.
Quotes in the packet for tree removal. I think that would be a little cheaper because I think we were planning on, when we were out there, there's another maple tree that's close to the sign on East Park, and that one's in pretty bad shape too. So we're gonna have 2 trees removed, and then there was a stump in there that never got ground out from the last one. And we're grinding all the stumps and make sure they're out.
So the whole deal will be less than 2,000?
Yeah, we're planning on cleaning up that.
Okay.
That pine tree.
So do we have to have a motion on that to approve it?
Yep.
I'll make a motion to approve it.
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve the East Park tree removal. All in favor?
I,
Opposed? Carried. All right, new business, campground rules discussion.
I received the email that I included in there from Judy Holst, Donnie's wife, the campground host's wife. She just kind of asked that we consider revisiting the rules again this year.
So are those the rules that, we don't have. Where did you get those rules from?
yeah, these are pulled from something else.
They are,
What I think we should do is go through our rules and just probably compare them to what she's got there.
yep, that wouldn't hurt.
Is she thinking that this template is a good way to go versus what we have now, or what is her thought?
She must be, she kind of
Okay.
included the things that she was seeing in there that she liked, I guess. And she looks like she wants to sell firewood too.
Yeah, it might be helpful if she gives us some more information or comes to the meeting,
Yeah.
so we
And
can
maybe
ask a few
should,
questions.
yep,
Absolutely.
I could have her and Donnie come to the
Right.
next one or
Yeah,
next couple, because now we're getting out of the season soon, so they could probably pick any of the
right.
other ones. Right.
Something else to note about the campground rules, Larry Holst had approached me. We've observed some people coming in and just dumping gray water and different things. He wanted to know if there should be some sort of service charge for the campers versus the people who are not part of the campground. Is that something that we
discussed that. And that's with the campground signs out on the highways, people look for that.
Yep.
And there's nothing to say that we can add that to our.
Correct. And it's kind of tribal knowledge. If nobody's there and it's not really monitored and, you know, Donnie doesn't know who stayed there, who hasn't.
Yeah.
Larry brought up a point, it's like people even from Hay Creek or someplace know that, oh, on my way through, I'll just swing into Zumbrota and I'll just quick drop it there because nobody monitors. He thought that if Donnie could monitor the people who are there and say that they get it for free, but anybody else who comes in, maybe there's a charge for dumping the water or doing something, that he said it might deter people from doing that. Like, absolutely, because he had talked about it's just more stuff going through our treatment.
Mhm.
He says it's all sorts of it could be anything from cattle trailers from the auction to just anybody and everybody. It's like, ooh, we don't want that. But hopefully
Or-
Donnie can keep a better eye on that. It isn't as out of control as they made it sound.
I wonder, or if you could make it just available to residents in Zimrona? Like if you're a resident, you're allowed to dump your trailer there?
If you're using the campground.
I just think if you're a registered camper, you get it as part of your camping fee.
Yeah.
If not, then there's a fee for coming in and
Dumping.
dumping.
There. You got back from, I'm just kidding.
Usually residents that live here.
What do they ask? Is there a charge?
They just ask if it's down there. I say,
Oh.
yep, it's down there.
Yeah.
Yes, it
It's
is.
there.
It's
Sure
there.
Free.
Well, there it is.
You can use it.
Get, many calls a week. It's maybe once a month that I get a call, but I feel like it's usually somebody that lives here that calls.
So if we say it's gonna be for campers only, and then you can't use it, or you have to pay to use it, how do we restrict it when Donnie isn't down there?
That would be the tough part.
Do we put a fence around it and they have to have a key or a code?
Donnie's gone, he's always got somebody to take his spot. That's usually,
Yeah.
You can put a little box and make it free will.
Well, and that's honestly what one of Larry's suggestion was, is like a donation box that Donnie could go empty out,
Mhm.
every night or something, but we know, well, the honor system goes, and then it's just another point of vandalism, especially if people think there's cash in that box.
Right,
Yeah.
That thing's gonna be cracked open like an Easter egg
all the time.
constantly. I think Donnie or his designated other would have to monitor that, but a little sign by there that says campground use only,
Only.
or check with camp office or something
Mhm.
for a fee or something. We could put up a little sign that
Something.
would deter the,
This only sign would allow us to, when we do see it, to say, hey,
Yeah.
correct.
no.
Otherwise, it just continues to run out of control.
So can we have a copy of our current rules for the next meeting and compare them?
You want them?
Awesome.
We should probably invite Judy or Donnie to
Yeah, I'll
discuss
invite
where they
them
got
to
that.
come too. Yep.
Send that out to everybody beforehand?
I think I have them readily
Okay.
available from the last time that we did this.
Send these to everybody, like, spread away. And then do a little comparison and then
Yep.
have questions ready.
And the sale of the wood, I'm kind of curious on who's supposed to be providing the wood.
Well, since they're
In her
looking,
email, she said that something about vendors, I don't know.
You
for
just have to
someone to
find a
provide.
vendor to supply the wood.
Right, so Donnie could sell it, but as long as the vendor could supply it.
Okay.
And then in the notes, the revised rules she put in there too about firewood may not be brought to the campground, but she puts in there when the new division of the campground is done. So I don't know if she's thinking about having it up there somewhere in the semi-permanent or seasonal section. I don't know.
She wants to allow no firewood burner?
Yeah, not sure. Just says firewood may
That's pretty
not be
typical.
brought into the campground,
You're not
question mark.
supposed to be moving firewood.
Now that ash borers everywhere, though, they don't really restrict it anymore.
Well, it's like if you go to a state park and camp, I don't know if you guys have done that, but you walk up to the shed and you grab a bundle of wood and it's all free will, and you get on your phone and there's an app and you just go do, 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 and boom, you're done, and it charges you. So, I mean, I don't know if we have to get that high tech, but it could be something like that, that it's all the bundles right there. I'm sure somebody would readily take up that business to provide it to us.
Right.
Yep.
Well, she's even stating that Donnie would deliver it, so maybe they just keep the rick right there, and Yeah.
Easy.
I think that'd be easy enough to review and be prepared to discuss it at the next meeting.
And if I'm really not comfortable putting a waiver of liability on here unless it's run by Matt or something for the verbiage and all that.
property is privately owned, well, not necessarily. Yeah, I'm not opposed to a waiver of liability.
No, not at all,
Needs to be.
but
Needs to be reviewed.
All right. So the next thing on the agenda is the sale of pool equipment.
So we've had some interest from other municipalities and some of the items at the pool. Most of them are, the reason they're asking is because they're older pools and that would fit. Like the heaters out there at the pool, they're 25, 30 years old now. Wanamingo was interested in them. And, there was some of the sand filters, and the sand filters are probably about the same vintage. They're not worth much to anybody except somebody who's got an older pool. So the umbrellas, that's another one that the umbrellas are there. They're not operational now because the crank or the mechanisms got locked up on them when they overcranked them. So last year I just left them up, but if we get into the new pool, my deal was that we had to get a stationary. We can't have anything mechanical for the guards to run. It just doesn't work. And those parts, they're $340 a piece for those mechanisms. So they're expensive, and we probably bought a half a dozen of them over the years. But I think the city of Alberta Lady was interested in them for parts too. Just need some direction on how to go about it. I did, Wanamingo actually came over and got the chlorine pump, because theirs busted on them. So that's out right now, but I mean, they're willing to buy it, but I just need some direction.
and they know the condition of this stuff, that it's
They're
fair-
still
fair
interested?
at best. I mean,
Well, like the pool heaters they wanted them more for parts, if they could drop parts off, they had problems, Because
Hard to get some of the stuff.
Yeah.
that stuff is getting to be older and it's not worth a whole lot. I mean, I don't know if you have them make an offer and then present it, or I don't. To put it on public auction, I don't think you're not gonna get anything on it, like min bid.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna pay for them to sell it for you.
we aren't violating anything if we just say, please, make, what's your best offer?
That's 25-year-old equipment that theoretically we would just demo with the building if.
Otherwise, we have no use for it.
Yeah, because.
Just tell them to make a donation to the pool fund.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was
That's a
thinking
great
is
idea.
if we're gonna be, if they want this stuff and they're willing to give us some money for some of this stuff, I say just, throw it in the pool fund and
I think
we could
that's
put
a
that
great
towards
idea.
that.
Now is the best marketing time for that stuff too, because as you pointed out, we got all the publicity that it's closing and it's,
Right.
so for those people that seek us out, perfect time to say, yep, come get it.
Yeah, and Wanamingo's pool, I think, has just turned 50, so it's
And
kind of
it's
the same
sinking.
vintage. It's, yeah.
It's sinking and it's losing water. It's got water
So-
running in it continuously.
And they have the equipment that some of it
Yeah,
matches.
so like for Pine Island or Goodhue, none of that stuff would even work for them.
Correct. Neil's got one in Cannon Falls, that's about the same vintage too, actually.
I'll make a motion that we just ask them to make a donation to the pool fund for the equipment they want.
Yeah, I'll second that.
All right, we have a motion and a second for the pools to make a donation into the pool fund for the parts that we are no longer using. All in favor?
I
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Rescheduling the September meeting, because it is Labor Day.
Seventh, the consideration.
skipping a meeting?
I don't think we should skip the meeting right after the pool vote.
That's true.
I
Right.
agree, yeah. Yeah.
So we should make it on the 13th, so we're all here and present.
September 13th.
That's the day of the vote.
It's August 13th.
Right, you want to
Oh,
be here
yeah.
like next
No, I
week?
would expect all of us to be
Move it
here
up.
to vote on
Right,
that day.
Yeah, that's true.
right.
We
when
can
the
have a little
voting is
huddle in the
done.
corner for our meeting.
Meet at 1 AM when we get back from.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do we just want to push it out to the next Monday or?
The
Ninth.
9th?
Fine by me.
I don't think I have any issues with that. That should be fine.
So can I do a Zoom or just, is it okay? Can I call in or something?
Yeah, or, yeah.
We just need 3 of us here, don't
Can't
we?
vote though.
Yeah.
Right, so if you'd rather. But if you have anything that you want to comment, you can send it in to me
Okay.
and you can watch the video back, or if you want to attend, you can. So you've
Okay.
got the two options.
Perfect.
Okay, what were we looking at, September the 9th?
9th, the next Monday.
Yep, there's nothing scheduled to be in the chambers here, so it should be okay.
Do we need a motion for that?
Yes.
I'll make a motion to move the September meeting to the 9th.
I'll second your motion.
We have a motion and a second to move the September meeting to September 9th, which is the following Monday. All in favor?
Aye.
Oppose? Carried. And then we have the pool committee booth at the Goodhue County Fair volunteer sign up.
Yes.
Wait, Mike, so he is going to do it. He's absent.
No, he is. He actually,
Is he
you know what,
really?
and that reminds me, I did get an email
That's
from him
great.
saying he was gonna be, he was gone.
Oh, gotcha.
But it was in relation to this, not the park board meeting.
Meeting you get to voluntold it.
Yeah,
I was ready to second it.
yeah, Mary's taking Thursday from 5 to 9. Kayla's taking Friday from 5 to 9. And Mike will do Saturday from 12:30 to 5 PM. And then I'm just filling in where there's nobody, which is setup. Actually, setup will be tomorrow right after the National Night Out, because I have to take the tablecloth and all the stuff out there. The tables are already out there. We brought them out today. And then I'll be out there 12:30 to 5 on Wednesday. Miranda will be there. Well, Sarah Derman and Joan Booker will be there Wednesday night, 5 to 9 PM. Miranda's taking Thursday, 12:30 to 5 PM. And I already said Mary's got 5 PM, 9 PM Thursday. Friday, Kim will be there, Kim Simonson until 4, and then I'll pop in there for the last hour. Kayla's got Friday night, 5 to 9 PM. Saturday is Mike from 12:30 to 5, and then I'll take 5 PM to 9 PM Saturday night, and then I think we clean up right after that too, tear down, so.
Mhm.
Awesome.
So are the members of the committee signing up?
Well,
Do we know?
Meg mostly,
Okay,
Karna, and then Kathy,
Skull Rotten.
yeah, she signed up for 3 of them. I just told Meg, we need someone there with us. We're not gonna be at that table, not able to advocate for the vote. You know, we need somebody with us, so. So we really got all of ours covered unless anybody wants my shift, or 1 or 2 of my shifts, so.
And can you go over exactly what we can and can't say? We can't advocate
I
for
was
the
gonna
vote,
say,
right?
I just got an email.
It's
from-
basically the FAQ. Yep, I sent you one too.
Oh, okay,
I just sent the brochure and then the FAQ, the facts and questions.
okay.
It's all on there. And then your knowledge of the process, because I think you've been on this
Okay.
longer than I have, haven't you? You were here, were you on the park board before I came?
No, I don't think so. I have no idea.
Been
I
4
can't
years.
remember that.
But I know it was going on before. Well, yeah, he was, I know, before I, but
It came
Wasn't
on-
when I took
well, you were-
vacation.
yeah.
But you guys were like a month difference, or was that Mike Schulte that was?
Oh, yeah, they came when I was here, but I
Yeah.
think, so anyway, whatever facts, about when it started, because I don't have all that, I kind of know, but you know, how it started, when it started, that it's been years and
Years
years
in
of
the
talking
planning.
about this. And yeah, we knew it was coming, and Park Board authorized money to keep it going another 3-4 years. And it's just time.
A past inspection, we can't have a pool.
Right.
Okay. And did we get,
And one of the things is, it would have been like $3 million to renovate the existing facilities.
to make it
So-
last for 2 more years?
Well, to make it last for,
Yeah.
not the 50 years that this one did, for sure.
Yeah.
So that's one of the big ones when people say, well, why'd you just renovate it? Well, there was a study done, and I think it was close to $3 million back when they did the study, I think. I've got all the paperwork. Was, yeah.
And do we have the brochures and stuff?
Yep.
Good.
Yep, they'll all be out there. And then, one thing we do have, and we will not be in charge of this, but we have the voter list, the registered voter list. And the committee is going to be talking to whoever wants to talk, and they'll get a name, and they'll ask, hey, what are you thinking here? And trying to get a kind of a map of their last couple of days of their part of advocating for the vote. And then you'll have the tax statement showing the different tax amounts for the different house valuations. That'll be on the table as well.
Where did that come out, Brian? I don't think I've seen that yet.
Oh, we haven't gotten that? Yeah, we had it here once, didn't we? I hope.
Yeah.
I think once.
But- Yeah,
Before you were,
I want
On
to
it,
say
yeah.
$300,000 house was $12 a month, or I can't remember what it was.
something similar.
Something
The
similar.
the number 17 is sticking in my head for some reason,
$17 a month.
and I don't, that might have been a $400,000 house.
That might have been, yeah. Because I think 300 was
Because I remember
$12 a month for
We talked. that it
20
was
years.
Just like a couple trips to McDonald's.
Yeah.
Is what we
Yeah.
likened it to for
Right.
a standard house.
Yeah, and we
Yeah.
can send that out to everybody too. Get that back out to everybody.
That just kind of puts it in perspective.
Right. Yep, and that's the way that the committee will, well, I mean, we can say that.
Yep.
Because that's what it is. We'll let the committee say that.
But we
it's
can ask
2
people-
pizzas or 1 pizza.
To come out and vote, but we can't just say you got to vote for the pool, right?
Right.
Yeah, I would avoid any voting
Okay, no vote word.
Just don't use the word
words.
vote.
No vote word.
I would just provide facts.
Okay.
Say that this is how it started. It started years ago, 5.5 years ago, whatever it was.
And we can't have our floaties on and all of those things.
Yeah.
No,
Well, you
no,
could
not
do
at the polling booth. We can't. That's what I'm
Oh.
thinking about, at the polling booth.
I really want to dig out some goggles.
That would be considered promotional for something that's on the ballot. Yeah.
We'll have goggles out there.
I'm definitely
All
wearing
the old
them.
goggles are there. And
It's
the
happening.
Pool toys that were left at the pool, they'll be in those baskets.
Oh, I forgot.
We
I
should have put the
giant
dunk
pin
tank there.
From when I
We
went
should have
to
got
Miami
the dunk
Dolphins
tank.
game. I can wear that. It's like this tall.
Yes, where's-
It's huge.
Out there, wear whatever.
I will.
That's not advocating.
No,
I
no,
don't think.
but at the
No, I'm
polling
just
booth, we
supporting my
can't.
football team. That is all I'm doing. Because it's got a big Dolphin logo on the side, so.
There was discussion about making stickers. I don't think that ever happened, something, especially for tomorrow night,
Mhm.
just something to hand out. I don't think.
If we would have had the parade before, that would have been something that we could have handed out at the parade, would have been great.
Yes.
A float with a pool or whatever, but that's too late.
What
But
that
Have
will
a
be,
thank you.
what that will be that'll be a fundraising float if it passes. We'll know, and then they'll work on getting something in the parade
Oh,
about
that's
the
a great
pool
idea.
and,
Yep.
and the fundraising effort. And then we can be more involved. So then you can be on there with your fin.
For sure.
It says make the pool great again.
There you go.
No.
As far as I go.
Now we're starting to see people drop out.
Yeah.
Could come up with some little cliche pool shirts though, or
Right.
something though.
Yeah, we could.
Thanks for making a big splash. Splash into a new pool. I could get the water guns. Oh, I'm, too many ideas running through my brain now.
We'll have to look at the rules
Get
of
one
the
of those super
parade.
soakers and just start running around.
People to donate, not hate us.
Yep, and I think Meg will have balloons out there tomorrow to spiff it up.
Yep, okay, good.
Water balloons.
We had balloons last time. It's gonna be cold.
Yeah, it's good.
At least we won't be roasting in that building out there. It's usually so hot in that commercial building. It's the building right next to the cheese curds
Oh, yeah.
and the Lions Club trailer, right in that area, across from the tractors.
Smell good.
Exactly.
Yep, they smell really good.
I'll probably be
Petting
getting
barn is
cheese
out the back
curds
door.
while I'm sitting there.
What were these?
That's the one that somebody needs to sign, so I suppose Kayla will have to sign it. since she's-
I have to sign my life away now
Yep,
too?
yep.
Lanta.
Just saying that you approve the account.
That's what they say.
Who's the other signature on there?
City
I have to sign it?
administrator. Do you want me to put the date on there?
8/5.
Motion to adjourn? I make a motion to adjourn.
Okay,
All in favor?
We have a motion, a second and a
Okay.
third to adjourn.
There we go.